The giant cupcake is a fun cake to make, but man, is it a process. I'm going to break down each part so you know how much time to set aside for yourself. The first step, of course, is prep and baking. This will take you about an hour and 45 minutes. Now this cake pan requires 2 boxes of cake mix, but we won't use the entire 2 boxes. We'll use 6 cups of it in total, so you'll end up with a little bit extra. You can use it to make some regular cupcakes if you want. You can also watch my tutorial on how to make this cupcake cake, so this way you can see how many cups to use per side. Each side of the pan needs to be baked separately, which is why the process takes so much longer. The top part of the cake pan is not as deep as the bottom, and so it doesn't need as much time to bake. So to avoid over baking it, we bake them separately. The next part is making and coloring the frosting. Now this should take you about 45 minutes if you're making the buttercream yourself. If you're using store-bought frosting, then it should take about 20 minutes just to color the frosting and prep the piping bags. The entire process to make this cake can be broken out into separate days if you don't have the time in one day to make everything. I typically break up the process into 2 to 3 days. So one day you can bake the cake and make the frosting, and then the next day you can decorate it. Which brings us to the final step of decorating. This part should take you about 35 minutes if you're creating this same design. And I love this design because it's beginner friendly and there's no wrong way to do it. Plus it looks really pretty. And if you want to go for a style that's more simple, you can use a 1M piping tip and make rosettes or little circles all the way around the top. This design should only take about 5 to 10 minutes to create. Now this was the first time that I made this cake and it was fairly easy. It just took a long time and I made it all in one day. I also factored in time to chill the cake as well. I frosted the bottom part first, then chilled it in the fridge for about 10 minutes to set the frosting. This way, when I started to decorate the top, I didn't mess up any of the frosting that I had applied to the bottom. And what's great about this cake is you can create so many designs. You can also choose not to frost the bottom of the giant cupcake and just leave it exposed. This will reduce the total time to make it. I don't prefer that route only because the cake will dry out if it's left unfrosted. Frosting helps to trap in the moisture and keeps the cakes fresh. So if you're making this design that I created here, you can expect the total time to be about 2.5 to 3 hours. At minimum, I would say it could take 2 to 2.5 if you're not frosting the bottom and if you're only using 1 piping tip on the top. Either way you slice it, you'll end up with a beautiful giant cupcake perfect for your special occasion.